awesome viewers, welcome to AC Studio. As mentioned in the last video, I'm going to have the construction progress showing how I actually scratch build this Land Raider out of mountboard, paperboard and foamboard. So this video will be also very long as well, but this video will be really helpful if you're interested at seeing how I actually scratch build everything out of nothing but paper. And because the construction progress always very long, because I need to show you every parts, so I divided the video into two parts. So in this video we're gonna look at how I make the tracks, and what make my Land Raider scratch build project unique is the movable track. So this track is movable, right? It's operable track. So in this video, I'll show you the most time-consuming, the most technical construction progress of how I made the movable tracks. And then the next video, I'm going to show you the how, the sponsons, the side details and stuff like that, right? And I hope this video will be very helpful for you to make your own like tank or even Land Raider in the future, right? Alright, so let's jump into it. The first thing I did was to find an elevation of the Land Raider tank and then trace it on AutoCAD. I only got an elevation, so for the rest of the elevation or the plans, I need to best guess and draw it up. And I think my guesstimate is pretty good. And also I draw all the elements out and then print them on A4 paper to scale, and then I cut them out and then stick it on a mountboard. So for all the wheels are made with 2mm thick mountboard. So I stick it one by one together because I can't print on mountboard. I only got a little crappy A4 printer, and then I roll it up and make sure it stick together, wait till it dried, and then cut them out one by one by hand. That's all. And you can see the process is very time consuming. I need to cut 60 numbers of wheels. So you can see, I cut it one by one. Then I keep all the circular parts, leftover parts, and I use them to do the exterior of the tank. And then I also need to add some details on all the wheels as well. And I make a sample. You can see I actually use a sample, and then I use the sample to trace it, so I don't have to do every single circular drawing. Hand cut every single part of it out one by one. That took forever. But at the end of the day, it is very rewarding, because you don't do by 3D print, everything just hand built. This is what handcraft is about. And you can see, I made another 60. And now I put the little circular ring thingy on top of the wheels, so you have extra details on it. Use the cheapest PVA glue I can find, and then I just use hand to stick, put it together, put the glue onto the ring, and then stick it onto the wheel like that. And just do that one by one, slowly. Make sure it fits right in the middle as well. Yep. And then I paint it black using again the cheapest acrylic paint I can find, because I got so many wheels, right? It will be very expensive if I use a Citadel paint. See, I just hand paint every single one as well, no spray painting. And after I paint a batch of them and I keep going with it, I also need to paint the back of it as well, because otherwise you see the white color in between the gaps of the tracks. And I use up the whole paint, which is good. It's only like $3 or something like that. And then I use the Citadel metallic paint. I couldn't remember what paint it is. And to do the metal kind of like dry brushing on each one of them again. So yep, takes time, but yep, just keep going. And then I make the idler wheel, the biggest wheel of the track, and also made details for the wheel as well, similar to the process of making those typical wheels that you just saw before. Yep, again, using hand to cut every single parts. And then you got rivets or the bolts, so I add them onto it to add more details on it to make it look better, because these big idler wheels are at the front and the back of the tank. And then I stick onto it one by one, and doesn't take that long. This should be an easy process, just takes time. And then after a while they are pretty much done. And yeah, looking good. So actually I need to make 4 of them. Yep. 2 sets of wheels, front and back. Then paint it black. Again, using the same cheap acrylic paint that I could get. I need to keep the cost down. And then I start printing the side of the tank. And the first thing I did was make a sample of it first, using the A4 paper. So you see it print in 3 parts, because they're all in A4 size, 4 parts, and then I just stick them together. And afterwards I have a sample, and that's how it looks like. Then I just use the sample to trace over the mountboard, 2mm mountboard. You can see I use masking tape to stick the sample onto the mountboard and start tracing it, including all the holes, because I need to cut the holes out as well. And then I cut them out, and you got 2 large side piece. And I need to cut 2 more. And then I laminate them using the glue as well, to make it thicker, so that it is stronger as well, because it supports the wheels. Yep, and you can see on the other side I have a little piece of cardboard stick on the edge. And the axles for all the wheels, I use the straw, a paper straw, and then I need to cut them into the right size. And once again, I have a little sample, so every time when I cut the straw, I don't need to measure it every single time. All I need to do is use a sample, which is a little roll, which I can put the straw inside, and I just need to mark the measurement, as simple as that. And also I need to reinforce the straw by adding another layer of paperboard on the straw, because it is an axle that supports the wheels. So that's why I need to reinforce the axle, the straw. Yep, and make it stronger. And then I test it first. I put it on the hose and make sure it works. And then I put a little wheel and test it out whether it works or not. So make sure it rolls. It is loose enough. And then I spray paint the inner hull in all black, because it's supposed to be all black inside. And I stick each axles onto the holes one by one. And then I also made a tube and I put the wheels in it, and then in between the wheels is a little square. It doesn't need to be circular because no one can see it. Just make it square, and put the wheels together. And then it becomes a double wheel like that. And after that I just need to take it out. So that means if I got this little roller thing, right, and then I can make all the wheels accurately, right, and you see it rolls really well. The big one, the small one, both rolls really well. And then I just put them inside the axles. one by one, and and start taking shape. You can see, looking better and better. And lastly, put the large wheel on the front and the back. Yep, and that's it. And that's how it looks like on the side. And then I put it together with the figures, just put it to test the scale. Then I install the opposite side on it, and same as the other side, I put the other side as well. So I need to make both of them, right? And eventually, that's how it looks like. Yep. So you got 2 sets of tracks ready for it. And for the tracks, I actually use 100 GSM paper to do the track lengths. And then I glue the track onto this track link. So what I did was to have the foam board, 5mm thick foam board, and I cut tracks out of the foam board. I again has a sample, so I actually can just use the sample to measure each tracks, and so I could quickly mark it and cut each one of it out from the foam board. And I need to make about 88 of them, so that takes a while to do that as well. And also I need to cut the corners to each of them to make it chamfer. Got the sample, so it's easy for me to cut it without actually measuring each one of them. And then I apply a dry brushing of silver metallic color onto the track to make it look, old and weathered. And then afterwards, I then cut another 88 foam board pieces, and these pieces actually become the kind of like a guide, or what you call the a links that can actually sit in between the wheels that I just made before. And you see that's how many I made, and luckily I don't have to paint them because they were black and actually sit inside the track. And you can see here I got 88 tracks, and then also 88 track links inside the track. So that is quite a lot. When the tracks are ready to be fixed onto the track links, I've drawn a few lines on a piece of paper so that I could actually use as a guide to fix the tracks onto the track link accurately. So you can see how I did it. So I got a upper line and lower line, and also I got 2 lines for the track links. So I make sure my track links is placed right in the middle, and then the tracks is placed right in the middle of the outer line as well. So that is how I make it accurately like that. Glue them one by one. You can see I already got a marking on the track link showing where each track to be placed, and got a kind of like a 5mm gap in between, right? So I actually measured that really accurately. Otherwise, the last piece that joined together won't be the same. So it has to be 100% accurate. And then when it's ready, I glue them together one by one. So usually I do 4 to 5 at one go. And then I move on to the next 4 and 5. And eventually took a while to get this done. So you can see it is a very long process. You need to be extremely patient. And you cannot rush it, right? And it has to be 100% accurate every single time you put each link on it. It has to be spot on, right? It has to be spot on. Eventually, what you see is the finished kind of like track, and it does look like bullets or cartridge of a machine gun. So looking really nice. So it is very long. And I start putting the links right behind each track, and you can see, I again glue it one by one, and you can see there's a gap in between as well because the track need to be curved, right? So you make sure you have a bigger gap in between to allow the tracks to rotate, so that each link won't hit each other or crash with each other. and you can see the front and the back. That's how they look like, right? Super long. And you can see how it works. You can see the wheels is actually moving in between the track links. So when you push the tank, right, basically the wheels roll on the tracks, and you can see the track links in between each wheels. So the wheels are done like an H shape, right? And the links are actually kind of like set in between the wheels. So that's how it works. That's actually quite simple. And all I need to do is wrap it around the tank, and then glue fix the end part of the link, the 100 GSM cardboard, the black cardboard together. So you understand now why it has to be 100% accurate. Otherwise, if you get the measurement wrong, the thread will be too loose or otherwise too tight. And so you can see it finished off pretty nicely, and you don't even know where I actually joined the tracks together, right? And you can see that is how it actually rolls. So now that sums up the end of this video. I'm gonna have a video showing you how I made the middle part, the hull of the tank, including the opening door, the interior details, and also the sponsor as well. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do if you're interested in my work. And I'll have more Joytoy action figures review coming up soon, and also upcoming works such as the Catacomb Command Barge. Many thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.